Okay, thank you, and welcome to this webinar where we're going to be walking you through the KEREA and the Odyssey procurement system. My name is Andrew Amadi, and I am a member of KEREA and the immediate former CEO of KEREA. So this is a project that has been developed from the needs of members that was expressed in surveys that were carried out towards the end of 2019, that one of the major challenges particularly local companies face is the procurement of good quality products at a good price. So in the strategic plan of KEREA, it was envisaged that KEREA can act as an aggregator and help businesses to be able to source good products and also to be able to get them at the best price. And as an aggregator, it would then mean that they are able to bundle together products for project development. They're able to forecast the demand, make orders, get good negotiated prices on best quality products, and deliver them at a scale that they would not be able to do if they were all working individually. So I don't want to preempt and go into the details of the program. I think the Odyssey team will be able to do that very well. But I just want to highlight the reason why we thought that this would be a good platform that the members can be able to take advantage of and be able to improve in terms of both quality and also the timeliness and predictability of accessing products, and also to leverage on limited resources and be able to order consignments and then be able to, if they are for either project basis and payment is staggered, so they're able to order, import, and then be able to deploy them. It is a great honor that you are attending this particular meeting, and I don't have very much else to say, except that we really look forward to understanding. I think this can be greatly beneficial because it not only addresses the challenge of the access to finance, but it's also providing access to technologies where smaller companies can be able to get the same benefit as some of probably the larger and more established companies. And as we know, every day there are new people coming into the sector, coming into the business. There's a lot of interest in renewable energy, but it's still quite complicated for people to identify what are the right products and how can we be able to get them at the right price and how can we be able to access financing. So I think this presents an opportunity that can be beneficial to members of KEREA. And this is because of the bargaining purchase and also the credibility in terms of people who have committed to a certain level of accountability in terms of the standards of the products, in terms of the service offering, and also in terms of being able to meet the consumer needs. So without saying much more, it is my honor, pleasure to welcome you to this webinar. And I can now hand over to Justin, who can then be able to take us through the project and through how you can be able to benefit as a member of KEREA from the Odyssey Procure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Justin,
much,
over to you.
Andrew. Asante sana, my friend. We wish you all the best in your new endeavors, stepping down as president and CEO. It's a great honor to be here today. My name's Justin. I'm the head of procurement solutions at Odyssey, heading the team called Odyssey Procure. It's great to be with you all today to announce this partnership with KEREA for its members exclusively as an opportunity to offer the best payment terms available for the best equipment at the best prices for the Kenyan market. Before we get into the presentation and outlining and detailing the initiative, just a friendly admin note that if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them at any point during the presentation, whether it's technical or commercial questions. And you can do that in the Q&A tab of the Zoom meeting link here. And we will address them at the end of the webinar. If it's a question about if the presentation will be shared, or if there's a question you would like to ask offline or connect with our team, the answer is yes, we will be sharing this presentation, and that you can indeed connect with our team at any point in follow-up to this presentation. So without further ado, let's get into it. And thank you to my colleague Edwin here to emphasize that, and we'll drop our website here into the link, which will be referenced throughout the presentation. And this will be the first of many references to saying, if you don't have an account with us, please create an account today. It's free. And the detailed benefits for KEREA members will be further outlined on our website. You can see it here. And then you will be assigned an account manager once you sign up for our website at no cost. And that account manager is dedicated to support you with all of your procurement needs. So answering questions technically or commercially, we'll make sure you have an account manager to address any questions you may have. So we'll be referencing that website throughout the presentation. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. So we're so excited to announce this $100 million commitment exclusively for KEREA members. So this $100 million of financing is here to help KEREA members procure equipment. So we have a number of partnerships with international financiers as well as local financiers to help enable this partnership. We are offering a low down payment for the procurement of equipment for as low as 10% when placing an order through Procure. And this is available for the first $25 million of this facility that we're opening up to KEREA members. Once orders are placed with the intent to bring the equipment to Kenya, then the balance payment is extended exclusively for KEREA members for up to 60 days. So that means the balance payment for any procurement can be 60 days in addition to the 1 month, 2 month transit time, as well as the production time for equipment. And I'll walk further through the details. So that's the specific opportunity that we're offering KEREA members, which is different than our standard offering. So a little bit of context to Odyssey and this specific initiative will be addressed before we then dive into what equipment is available for purchase under this initiative, and how pricing and best pricing is achieved under this initiative. And then specifically, we can walk through the mechanics of what I just outlined of what's available for KEREA members. So a little bit of background about Odyssey. So Odyssey is a platform that was developed simply to help renewable energy companies in their projects throughout particularly the developing world. So we particularly focus on distributed renewable energy projects. That's non-utility scale projects. And we've supported more than $1 billion of financing for such projects throughout the developing world since our formation as a company. We've been around for nearly 5 years. We've supported more than 40 financing programs, particularly in the developing world. And we have more than 2,400 renewable energy companies in our network. Historically, a lot of our projects have supported mini-grid projects as well as solar home system projects. And just as of 2 years ago, we are happy to say that the majority of our projects are now commercial and industrial, as well as residential projects. So usually system sizes between 5 kilowatts to 5 megawatts is the type of projects we support, although it's not limited to such project size. So if you think about a project lifecycle as this slide outlines, which is planning and forecasting to financing to procurement and then to operations, Odyssey has a solution for every step of a project cycle. So we have planning and forecasting tools available for free in a freemium service on our website, which has helped a number of developers with their projects, with their distributed projects. We then offer a host of financing support, whether it's concessional financing via the likes of programs run by the World Bank or Africa Development Bank, which we're supporting such projects in countries such as Ethiopia, Nigeria, but also with commercial banks. So we have a number of international banking partnerships, as well as a new partnership just signed with I&M Bank in Kenya, which I'll be telling you more about. So we offer financing solutions for developers for their projects. That can be PPA financing, it can be financing directly to the EPC or developer themselves. So if you have such a project that you think that needs financing that you think we could help with, please contact us and share the project details, and we will or the needs, and we'll see how we can help. Then we have procurement, which we're discussing today. Procurement is easily 70% of the cost of any project. Usually that's the CapEx requirement, and the needs are multifold. And so I will share with you, how the team at Odyssey Procure can help with your projects. And then lastly, we have the operational stage of a project. This stage is essentially when an asset is deployed and there needs to be monitoring of the asset. So Odyssey has a solution for this. We call it our remote monitoring and control solution. This supports both API as well as hardware integration at an inverter level. So we can see the state of health of a project, and we can also see related commercial aspects of a project, such as the ROI, the CapEx return on the project, and other related metrics. So coming back to procurement. So in our team, we aim to simply offer a better procurement experience for all aspects of a renewable energy project. So this specifically means we aim to offer the best pricing on equipment. So we understand that pricing is very important, particularly across Africa, and we aim to offer guaranteed best pricing on the equipment that we sell. Another thing we aim to do is offer the best payment terms available for equipment. We do this through a specific initiative called Better Payment Terms, which I'm happy to say with KEREA has been made the best payment terms, which I will walk through. We also offer things such as informed procurement decisions. That's basic knowledge about OEMs, equipment, project deployments, profiles of OEMs that we work with, any troubleshooting issues on equipment. And lastly, we also offer supply chain support. So particularly in countries across Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, where we have a strong presence, we offer a full suite of supply chain services working with a trusted network of clearing and forwarding agents, where we deeply understand local laws, duty regimes, etc., related to supply chain, and where we have full warehousing capabilities and last mile delivery. We can offer full support for all aspects of supply chain, both locally as well as internationally with suppliers. How do you work with Odyssey? Well, here is again the website I was referencing. You can work with us both online and offline. So a typical renewable energy company, which I assume many of you are here, can work with us by engaging online, by signing up through this link here, creating an account with us, telling us about your profile, what's your favorite equipment, what equipment you have in the pipeline. And then you can also engage with us offline. And I'll walk through the website just now. So offline engagement is particularly for organizations that are supporting, let's say, energy access across Africa, such as Sustainable Energy for All is supporting a number of projects throughout Africa. Or, as I believe many of you are here, it's supporting OEMs, suppliers, original equipment manufacturers throughout Africa. So we do this in a number of ways. In some situations, we have consignment stock available for OEMs and partners throughout Africa. Other times, we simply offer supply chain services for those partners. So if you click this link here, it would take you to our website. You could create an account if you haven't done so already. You'll be assigned a password and an account manager within 2 business days. You can gather more information here if you're an OEM. Let me sign up for a moment. You can see here joining as an OEM and the benefits of joining as an OEM. If you're a renewable energy company, you can click join the club and you can tell us about you, your profile, what interests you most, what's your pain point. Are you seeking authorized representatives for products? Are you seeking aftercare warranty support? Are you seeking financing support? You can then sign in here. And this will take you to a dashboard. So you can select your country that most interests you. Right now available in Kenya, South Africa, and Nigeria. So we can select Kenya here. As an example, you can see any local stock that's available. We currently have, as of last week, we have orders coming for Deye, Jinko, and Pylon Tech into into Kenya, which will be listed on our site here shortly with pricing. We're just finalizing the landed cost here. There'll be 3-tiered pricing, equipment available at our warehouse, equipment in transit, and then there's a number of equipment that's on pre-production that we are looking to bring into Kenya. So if any of that product's of interest to you, you can click the product, you can reserve it, you can see the pricing and availability, you can see the tiered pricing, which will vary based on when the equipment is ordered. If it is ordered pre-production, it's the best price. If it's ordered in transit, it's another price. And then if you wait till it arrives at the warehouse in Kenya, of course, it's at the 3rd price. There's also a mid-tier price, which you can discuss with your account manager, which is if you put a small amount of money down to reserve the product. So that equipment is available here under local stock. Also on the dashboard, you can reserve equipment. You can see this example order of what the status is of the proposal, when it's in transit, and then when it's going to arrive at the warehouse. And under Odyssey's Better Payment Terms Initiative, which is really the best payment term initiative with KEREA, you can see specifically a potential proposal and contract, which would be listed here, and the T's and C's of the contract. Also, we have resources available, including the recording of this webinar will be available on our website. So if you click resources, You can see past webinars we've done, such as with Growwatt, ATIS, Longi, and you can access these here on our website. So coming back, as I mentioned, this is the equipment we have coming into the country, into Kenya. So if of interest, be sure to inquire today. These are the number of units coming in. You can see here 80 pieces, 5 kilowatt inverters, DA, Pylon Tech, and Jinko. We work with a number of OEM partners. So you can see here OEM partners for panels, batteries, and inverters. We are generally agnostic to the OEMs that we work with some exceptions. I'll share with you just now that we have special framework agreements with certain OEMs. I believe some of those OEMs are here on this call. I see at least iGen and Stimaco. I'll share more information about. So if there's certain OEMs that you'd like to work with that you want the best payment terms with, share that with us, and we can try to help you. We can try to offer this scheme of 10-15% down and then balance after arrival, which again I'll share more information on. So our best price guarantee and we have specific framework agreements with these OEMs. So there's currently 7 OEMs. We're really delighted to just announce iGen as a key partner of ours. iGen is a battery company from South Africa focused on high voltage storage solutions as well as low voltage, but specialized in high voltage solutions. And iGen is a perfect match and pair with ATIS, whom Odyssey also represents across Africa as a PCS and hybrid inverter company. So we are now officially representatives of iGen throughout Kenya. And so at any time, you can rest assured that the best price will be guaranteed when procuring through Odyssey with these OEMs. And the list is continually growing. All right. So when I say we offer informed procurement, just a reference to what that means. So often there's a lot of questions about OEMs and the quality of OEMs, the quality of equipment. We often say that a 10-year warranty is only as good as the company behind it. And our job at Odyssey Procure is to provide that assurance to our renewable energy companies and KEREA members that indeed you can stand behind the equipment that Odyssey is sharing information about. And so we also like to serve as an information hub for technical queries and commercial questions about specific equipment. That can be questions about OEMs and the experience and the long track record of OEMs such as Stimaco and iGen that I mentioned, or it can be new OEMs that companies have never heard of, and maybe there's specific questions about project references. This is seems like a really good OEM or supplier, but have they done anything in Africa, or have they done anything specifically in Kenya? And we can provide information to the degree we know. If projects have been done, we can share that information openly with our members. And so these are some of the questions that are commonly asked about such suppliers. Furtherance of this points, we also offer aftercare and technical support specifically for the OEMs we represent across Africa, which we understand is critical to sell equipment across Africa, as well as to offer that firsthand 24/7 reliable aftercare. So we're happy to announce a strong team in Kenya. I'll introduce them at the end of the webinar. But we currently have 5 full-time staff on the ground, and we also have third-party logistics partners as well as aftercare technical support partners. further insight, I mentioned we can offer product knowledge and then use case-by-case knowledge to share informed procurement. How does Odyssey achieve the best price and best price guarantee with the equipment that we offer? Well, the number one way we do this is aggregating orders. So no matter how big a company, no matter how big an EPC or installer across Africa, one plus that company is always going to be bigger. And so one way Odyssey does this is by leveraging orders with large EPCs and developers, as well as leveraging equipment finance facilities that we have to achieve volume pricing and discounts with OEMs. And then this allows us to then disseminate that pricing to the broader market, to EPCs and installers that may not always meet those high thresholds of orders. So we do that transparently, we do that openly, and we share that pricing and availability with our renewable energy partners. We also leverage negotiation, of course, for bulk pricing and quality aftercare and representation. Number of OEMs we have partners with that offer this best price guarantee, some of them listed here, and then the full 7 are listed previously. Now, I guess you can say to the meat of the offering for KEREA members and the point of this initiative, specifically in Kenya. As I mentioned at the beginning, so under this initiative with KEREA, we offer $100 million committed to the importation of renewable energy equipment into Kenya. And we do this by offering better payment terms for all equipment purchased and imported into Kenya. So by way of example, if a company in Kenya wishes to purchase a container of batteries or a container of inverters or a container of cables or a container of panels or less, then that company can approach Odyssey and say, hey, I'm interested in this equipment. Now, if that's a piece of equipment or an OEM that Odyssey already has a relationship with, we will simply price up that equipment. DDP is the Incoterm used, which means delivered at place, delivered in Kenya, delivered at our warehouse in Nairobi. And we will present an offer, a proposal to the renewable energy company. If that proposal is agreeable, then we will ask for a 10% deposit, which is less than our standard 15% deposit. And that pricing, although referenced in USD, can also be paid in shilling, in Kenyan shilling. Once that payment is made, that deposit is paid, Odyssey immediately begins the procurement process with the OEM. We include the client at every step of the way, the renewable energy company, the KEREA member, and we share with them information openly with the OEM on the delivery times, when the bill of lading is received, the estimated clearing, where it is after clearing, and then perhaps most importantly, when it arrives at Odyssey's warehouse in Nairobi. The moment it arrives at the warehouse in Nairobi, 60 days begins. So you can see here our standard terms are usually 30 days, but for KEREA members, it's 60 days. That means that the KEREA member will have 60 days after arrival to then pay the balance 90% of the equipment value. In that period, the client can also take piecemeal for equipment. So the 10% has already been made as a down payment, but if the KEREA member wishes to buy, let's say, 5 units, 10 units, 20 units, they can pay in full 100% for the value of that equipment picked from Odyssey's warehouse and take it to the site. Now, the value to the KEREA member is not only working capital of 60 days, but also a working capital solution of whatever the transit time and whatever the production time was in addition to that 60 days. So usually transit time, let's say 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 4 weeks in some cases, and then a production time of anywhere between, no production time, 1 week and ready for shipment, to 3, even 4 months we saw last year with some battery suppliers. So this essentially is a working capital solution for as much as 3 to 6, even 7 months that we're offering to KEREA members. Now I'll come back to this. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions, but this is an initiative that we've seen really take off in other parts of Africa. We're really excited to bring it to Kenya now, and offer this same service and initiative value to KEREA members. So just to illustrate further, 10% is accepted. Local currency is accepted against the proposal value, a DDP USD value. We then pay the supplier, and then the equipment is imported, and then it's available for pickup inside inside Nairobi at Odyssey's warehouse. Now you may be thinking all sorts of questions, but you may ask, well, what about getting it to the project site? Because the way a lot of deals are structured is that EPCs get paid when equipment is delivered to their client site, at least some milestone payment. We understand that at Odyssey, and in order to help with that, we've developed a partnership now with I&M Bank in Kenya to help with that last mile delivery to the project site. So if you have a project and you even want best payment terms to these payment terms, because I'm struggling with the word to be more than better, then you can contact us and we can see how we can help you in that specific project, get that last mile bridge financing to your site. So at every stage of the supply chain, we're seeking a solution to help with your working capital. Now, as I mentioned, this is directly a working capital equipment finance solution for EPCs and developers in Kenya. So it's an initiative also that I should very clearly say requires no banking application, requires no loan application, it requires no due diligence on the renewable energy, the KEREA member. It requires no due diligence on the project. All that is required is for Odyssey to confirm the equipment that's being purchased, which there's a number of pre-vetted pieces of equipment already available on our website, as well as the 10% deposit. Once those two things are finished, then we immediately begin the transaction. So we have a question quite often that says, well, how can you guarantee the speed of delivery? And the very short answer to that is, well, we can't make the ship move faster. We cannot speed up the ship coming from Asia or Europe or wherever, or the plane. But what we can do is, by offering this working capital solution, we can aim to expedite projects. So the faster that 10% is received, the faster we can pay the suppliers, the faster we can coordinate with our trusted network of clearing and forwarding agents and bring that equipment to country for your project. So indirectly, it helps better manage lead times. We also take the headache of logistics out of the entire process. So Odyssey will support and become your supply chain. So we deal with customs. Everything is included in our final landed price. Customs clearing, duties, although I understand there's duties exemptions for renewable energy equipment in Kenya. All related transport, as well as, of course, warehousing costs through those 60 days. And then for a variety of OEMs, we also offer technical support and aftercare for the equipment. Now, a special caveat here is that not all pieces of equipment qualify for this initiative with KEREA. For instance, well, let me first say what does qualify. Of course, all of our partners mentioned, such as iGen, such as Steamaco smart meters, all of them qualify for these better payment terms and best payment terms with KEREA. Low voltage batteries and most inverters qualify. All panels qualify with some exceptions. Most lead acid batteries qualify. The brands mentioned qualify, and you can see the comprehensive list from our website. Now, common questions about solar home systems or transformers. Equipment that may not qualify is usually for highly specialized applications, but we're open to have a conversation and understand what equipment you may need to see if it can qualify. Just to go over a few common questions here before we open up the floor to everyone to ask any questions they may have. I just want to go over a few of the most commonly asked questions about this initiative. So when does the 60-day period of repayment start? Is it only 60 days of a working capital solution Odyssey is providing? Just to emphasize this, it's actually 3, 4, and up to 7 months or even more months of a working capital solution that Odyssey is providing. So during this period, instead of going to a bank to get a loan, then we are offering this extended period. So it's much more than the 60 days. It includes clearing and delivery, it includes transport, and it includes production time that we're offering this period for. And just to emphasize as well, which is particularly relevant to any mid-sized distributors, we can offer this facility to mid-sized distributors, and then as their clients pay them, so if there's any KEREA members that are distributors, as your clients pay you, you can then pay Odyssey and collect the equipment from our warehouse in Nairobi under this initiative. Can Odyssey procure products from OEMs not on our list? Maybe. We may be able to. The OEMs on our list have been pre-vetted as equipment that qualifies. But if you have equipment that you want to know if it will qualify, please contact us and we'll see if we can help. Is there a minimum order quantity for product for procurement? This is a very common question, and the answer depends on the OEM. So if usually for panels, it's a container order. Although because Odyssey is doing rolling procurements, we may offer this for 1/3 of a container of panels or 2/3 of a container of panels, whereby we will accept the same 10% down payment for a less amount than the full container. So share with us your requirements and we'll see if it can qualify. If we do not have a relationship with the OEM, then we're subject to their minimum order quantities. Does the Better Payment Terms initiative shorten the lead time and freight time? I believe I addressed this in saying we can't make the ship move faster, but we can work with our trusted network of clearing and forwarding agents. We can help free up your working capital as a KEREA member, and we can, in so doing, hopefully hasten the project life cycle. Can we pay in shillings? What is the exchange rate used? You can pay in shillings. The exchange rate is dynamic. It is subject to the rate that is essentially reflective of the market exchange rate. We do not hold the exchange rate for a month or 2 months. We hold the exchange rate for a select period. So that exchange rate can be used at time of deposit and then at time of repayment. And it's usually set for a set window by Odyssey. Does Odyssey keep stock? Yes, we do. As I mentioned, we have this equipment coming into the country. So we have Pylon Tech, Jinko, and Deye coming into the country, and it's it should be available within the next 6 to 8 weeks. Just coming back. Excuse me. Yeah, so Odyssey keeps stock. Now, if you wish to put a down payment, a deposit for that stock, that is available to be done immediately. There's absolutely no MOQ for that stock. So if it's 1 unit, 2 unit, then we can offer that to you on such such terms. If you pay 100% upfront, you'll get the best price for the equipment. If you pay 10% or 20% down, especially for KEREA members, then of course it's a separate price, but I guarantee it's still a better price than any stock available locally in Kenya. So get in touch with us today. Here's the Kenya team. We have Edwin, who's maybe Edwin and Victor, if you could just go on video for a moment. There are local representatives. Edwin helps manage our customer client relations from our client relations team. Victor is the dedicated procurement account manager who will get into all details related to your equipment requirements, as well as any pricing, questions about OEMs, etc. So there's the guys here, good looking crew here. And then we also have other staff locally, executive staff. And actually another member from our finance team, Andrew, that I forgot to list here. And our team is continually growing. Our partnerships with third-party logistics partners, clearing and forwarding agents, as well as local banks and warehousing partners is also growing. So thank you so much. Thank you so much to KEREA for allowing this partnership to take place. We really look forward to fulfilling the full facility here of Committed Capital. We look forward to hearing from you of all of your project requirements, your project needs. Don't hesitate to reach out to us at any time, seeing if we can help, seeing if we can add value. So I will now welcome all questions from the chat box, and we can address them accordingly. So I think a few may have come in. Oh. Well, I'm not seeing any questions here. I'm not sure if my colleagues are seeing any in the Q&A box. I saw some raised hands as well. I encourage you to maybe list some of those questions in the chat box, and we can address them. We can make up some of our own questions of the most commonly asked questions if there's no questions coming in. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, they're starting to pour in. I knew it would happen. Okay, so we have two. Can you make introductions to KEREA if one is not a member? Absolutely. Yeah, we love the question. So, you know, we are committed to the relationship with KEREA, and in so doing, we are happy to make introductions. If you're not a member and you can't afford to, you know, well, you want to make use of the 10% deposit versus the 15, and you'd like the full value of the 60 days of repayment, then you can do so by becoming a KEREA member, and we'll happily introduce you. I believe there's a link as well on our website that we can share with you for more information on how to be a member. Edwin shared it at the beginning of the call. I think for anyone who joined late, Edwin, maybe you can just also put it again in the chat box. That'd be great. Okay.
Also, just to add on that, I think Anne Kamau, the KEREA administrator, is here. So if she can share the contacts, then you can also follow up with her on becoming a member. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that, Andrew. Sounds good. But yes, please let us know, and we'll facilitate those intros and then access to sign up. Okay, what is the interest rate for this? Okay, this is a common question. Great question. There's not a direct interest rate that is charged, although it's very similar to a bank loan for a working capital solution. And we encourage everyone utilizing this offering to compare us to local bank rates, per month bank rates, as well as supply chain costs, and for the full 3 to 6 months to 7 months of the procurement. What I will say, because this is such a common question, is that we are either on par or very much more competitive than local bank rates, particularly for local currency. And we, because of our access to capital globally, then we are slightly more expensive and than say USD or Euro monthly rates, depending on interest charge in other parts of the world, but less expensive when compared to the full value of the service offering. Again, also different than a bank, there's no due diligence required. There is no long credit application required, and it's an immediate process from time of partnership. Maybe on this point as well, I'll emphasize that we have a number of partnerships with OEMs, many of the OEMs I mentioned, and we work hand in hand with those OEMs to offer these payment terms to their clients. So we do not get in the middle of all of the transactions. We simply offer an alternative financing mechanism to an EPC or an installer that may not otherwise be offered that payment terms. And then the best payment terms, of course, for KEREA members under this scenario. So thank you for the question. Related to that, how is Odyssey benefiting? Do they charge some fee? The fee, as mentioned, is related to the landed price. So we will always leverage the best FOB pricing available. We will transparently keep the client available with that, informed of that FOB pricing and the fulfillment. Before we do anything, we share a proposal with the end client, the KEREA member, the renewable energy company. We share that proposal. Again, it's DDP landed in Odyssey's warehouse, and that is inclusive of all fees and charges. So we encourage members to compare that fee to bank loans, to supply chain costs, to their own clearing costs, their own cost of capital, and see if it makes sense for them. And then you can see and deduce the fees accordingly. Good question. Thank you. Any of the subscription membership options of KEREA allows you to enjoy the financing options? Yes, the only requirement from Odyssey's perspective is simply to be a KEREA member. So maybe Andrew can speak to this further, but it's my understanding that all tiers of the membership qualify for this offering, or Edwin, feel free to add in here.
Yes, that is the correct understanding of the agreement. Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay. All right, moving on. Some parts enjoy tax exemptions on request to the Kenyan Revenue Authority. Does also Odyssey facilitate such services with government agencies such as NTSA, KEBS, KEBS for the reduced payment of taxes and ease of custom clearance on parts arrival? I'm going to attempt to answer this question, and I think I'll let my colleagues add anything if they wish to. Thank you for the question, Andrew. Thank you for your time here in the presentation. Because Odyssey is the importer of record, so we are the consignee in the transaction, it's up to us to make sure all exemptions, and indeed we enjoy exemptions on the imports of the renewable energy equipment, are the responsibility of Odyssey. So any further related tax deductions or related documentation required after arrival, we could take on a case-by-case basis, maybe if it's needed by the renewable energy company, but we are the importer of record. maybe if Edwin or Victor, if you want to add to that, feel free. Otherwise, happy to get into more details offline with you, Andrew. Okay. All right. I see some contacts shared here for KEREA. Okay, we have another question about the interest rates. So just to emphasize, it's not a direct charge of the interest rates. There's not a direct monthly fee of interest. This is not a bank loan application. This is a set fee for a full service of the of a working capital solution for a set time. And this includes supply chain services as well as warehousing. And it is, let's just say, competitive to local banks, if not cheaper. And it also offers a suite of services more than international financing, and would slightly be above the standard international premium if a company was to able to qualify for a Euro or USD loan. So the average varies, and the costs can also vary by developer, how often they are purchasing under this initiative, the OEM, the exemptions that we're able to achieve on the import. And what we can simply do is price this up accordingly for each developer or member, and they can compare to their own landed costs as well as full value of supply chain services. So happy to get into that further offline. Will we have the latitude to choose the suppliers that we work with, or does Odyssey will dictate this? Great question. We are agnostic to the OEMs, with the exception that we have best price guarantee and are authorized representatives of a select number of OEMs. So there's 7 OEMs that we have partnerships with. iGen, which is a high voltage battery company from South Africa that we recently signed as a partner. Steamaco, which is a smart meter company that has a long-standing presence throughout Africa and is a technology leader for smart meters. Also Jinko for panels, Focus for inverters, low-range inverters, A2EI, which is a low voltage inverter range as well, 5 kilowatt parallel up to 45 kilowatts, and ATIS, which is a PCS hybrid inverter company. So we have best price guarantee with those OEMs. Outside of those OEMs, we have a lot of working relationships, but we do not dictate in any way which OEMs we can offer this to. But we can simply say those OEMs already pre-qualify, and then if they're not on that list, we can take them on a case-by-case basis. You can also see them on our website, the list of such OEMs. So thank you for the question. All right. All right, I think we've what markets in Africa are you currently operating apart from Kenya? Thanks for the question, James. So we currently have entities and offer this service in Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa. And if you go to our website, you can see this accordingly. So here you can see the equipment available. Let's say Nigeria, for instance. So we have this initiative available in Nigeria. We have this stock currently in Nigeria. We offer also local currency payments in Nigeria as well as South Africa. So thanks for the question. I think that concludes the Q&A section of this. I just wish to emphasize that we're very excited for this partnership. Thank you to Andrew and the KEREA team. I see Anne is here and others. If you're not a member yet, please sign up for KEREA so you can leverage this offering. If you're not a member yet of Odyssey Procure, please do sign up. It's free. You'll be assigned an account manager immediately, and we can get into your project details. Other than that, thank you very much for your time. Wish you a productive day, remainder of the day further, and hopefully we can support you on your next renewable energy equipment procurement. Please, Andrew, anything to say further?
Nothing more to add. Thank you so much. Just looking forward to great outcomes.
Awesome. Likewise. Thanks so much. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.